Well, obviously, I think they're going to have to play great defense, and part of that is rebounding. I think Tommy Amaker, and I think he shared this with you, too, their concern is the stretch defense and also the ability to bounce, and this is where I think Lamenzana comes into play. He's a big factor. He's got to play well for Rutgers, and conversely, I think Michigan has to control him, Jimmy.
I think that, and Michigan also, I think they're going to attack those shooters of Rutgers on the defensive end and just see how committed they are to covering folks for 40 minutes.
Gentlemen, the officials tonight, Larry Rose is the referee. Duke Edsel and Brian Kersey are the umpires. We are set. Lamenzana and Sims will jump it up. This is for the 2004 NIT Championship. Ball is in the air, goes to Michigan, and Bill.
And Ron Franklin. And Jimmy Dykes. Rutgers goes. Nice lob here.
Sims.
I'd look for a lot of that, Ron. Take advantage of the size, the power game, anything inside. I think a real bonus for Michigan.
Gentlemen, it'll be interesting to see if Rutgers can start off with those outside rainbows raining on the Wolverines the way they did the other night.
And that's exactly what's going to happen, Ron. They're going to force them to beat them on the bounce. They're going to get out there. Look at Brown inside.
There's our guy, Mr. Effort, huh?
He's not happy with you, by the way, Jimmy.
Calling Moose?
Ham bone.
Ham bone? He said he likes ham bone over Moose.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we're going with ham bone.
Can you believe that?
With his size, we'll go with ham bone.
So it's a quick 4-0 lead by Michigan.
Again, Doobie and Shields, they will be tagged all over this field for 40 minutes.
A nice little penetration there in the fine.
Shields is left alone. That ball was partially blocked by Horton. Robinson will push it up, and he's going to take it all the way to the hoop. He's left-handed, and it was a perfect layup for him. 6-0, Michigan on top.
And your point's well taken, Ron. They should have taken the left away, forced them the other way, Jimmy. Great little kiss release.
Gary Waters has spoke about transition defense for the past 24 hours to his club, and Michigan's showing you why right now.
Axani slipped. And that's going to be a push called against Michigan. Is it going to be Robinson or Horton here, guys?
I think Horton. Yeah, my guess, anyhow. You know, that half court with the NIT is very slippery, that mark. But here's a nice run, the dive. The bigs getting down the floor. Jimmy, you got to get back and protect.
I like bigs that run right down the middle of the floor and make defenders decide, am I going to guard you on the right, on the left? And if it's a hustle play, an effort play, 25 in yellow is going to be involved.
Really what you talked about. Good looks, open looks are hard to find, and Rutgers having to rush their shots a little as they finally get on the board.
And that one was blocked, too, and, of course, all the defense breaks down a little bit. Nice hustle by Lamenzana.
You know, we talked about Rutgers' length defensively. I think Michigan's has got some length in their game as well. A lot of 6'3" to 6'6" guys that are interchangeable.
Make you catch it at distance as Harris gets an open look here.
Harris cans it. Doobie was off of him, not doing a good job defensively. I think this is something Michigan's going to look for, to see how good the Scarlet Knights are on defense, how much they want to guard you.
Like talking to Tommy Amaker in the locker room for the ball game, he said, you know what, we're going to pass that ball 5 or 6 times. I know they're good defensively on the first pass. We'll see how good they are on the 5th or 6th pass.
And the trouble with Rutgers now is they're being forced to put it on the floor. It's taking them out of their game. They're not getting the open looks, and Tommy's motion game is conducive to what you just said, Jimmy. They're going to do a lot of screening, ball reversal, make the defense work.
Way outside. There's the first one. Brittany Shields.
He's got to play, Ron. I think they're going to work on Doobie, and Shields had been hot coming in. Of course, the 35 points the other night can put you in the rear seat quickly.
Horton, nice give and go. Brown, offensive foul.
Well, you pay for it when ham bone or wishbone comes at you.
You may have a broken bone after a ham bone comes on top of you. Terrific job defensively of a shot blocker coming over and not going up top, getting the feet set, taking the blow.
Yeah, Lamenzana may think twice if that play is run again.
Well, you may not get off today. You may be flat on the floor.
Well, we played the first 3 minutes. Lamenzana drives it hard to the hoop. And, boy, you could see the jersey blouse out of Axani as he was grabbed on the way up.
I think it may have been Sims. That's just a guess. It could have been from the top side, too. Harris was grabbing as well.
Was Sims.
How about the effort of Axani so far in this tournament. 35 rebounds he's gotten. He's only taken 16 shots.
And don't forget, the other night he was diminished with the foul problems. This is what he can do. I don't think Brown can stay with it. New blow by.
That's a bad situation for Brown when he gets him that far away from the basket because of quickness. You're exactly right, Billy.
And I don't think Sims can come out and guard him there, so you may see a smaller lineup eventually by Amaker.
Inside to Courtney Sims. Reverses it, and he shot it too hard and got the tip. Axani over the back and is going to pick up the foul.
And there's the problem, you know. The difficulty, I think, Jimmy, of Lemenzana defensively, he's not big, wide, and strong, and guys can use that position, that drop step there.
I mean, 44 in yellow is just as quick as 1 in red. He's got a couple of inches on him. I love this kid's footwork from Michigan, Raph. He was a national tennis recruit, also coming out of high school. Told me that he only lost 1 set in tennis his entire sophomore year.
Well, you get him in your next doubles game, huh?
Wow. Can you imagine lobbing over him?
No.
Yeah. You'd have to hit it into the next county.
I bet his nickname is Spike.
Oh, nice give. Axani inside, puts it up and scores with the left hand.
Well, they're going to get opportunities, but it looks like Michigan's convinced they're not going to get beat outside.
11-9, 2-point margin, Wolverines.
Double the box.
And Robinson says, gonna lay it up. And Lemenzana said, get that stuff out of here.
Nice job here by Webb. Didn't rush into anything. And there's that switch. They go for Sims on him.
Unlucky on that shot. Marquise Webb, the freshman out of Patterson, New Jersey. Horton's going to pull up outside the NBA line, and he'll switch it.
Nylon. I thought that was a quick jack. Tommy didn't look very concerned. But they're going to take advantage. They had a big guy at the rim, Jim.
You know what, though? I go back to Tommy Amaker's conversation with me about a half hour ago. He said, I want 4, 5, 6 passes of possession, and we haven't seen it yet.
No, and it can bite you eventually, as you know.
Yes.
Go to the well too often deep, you run out of water.
Lemenzana. Whoa, what a quick move.
The lingerie's on the day.
Lingerie's on the day.
You got to be a union leader to get it.
Harrison and out. Wouldn't go. Shields grabs, or Webb grabs the rebound, and they'll push it up the floor.
I think Jim's comment, this is too deep. That's too deep. You know, 6'10", beyond the NBA line, 24 feet away. Jimmy's comment, I think the next time out, they'll be talking about motion and reversing the ball for Michigan.
Remember how they carved him up the other night? 5 or 6 passes, that ball going from one side of the floor to the other. Now, this is the first time we've seen Michigan doing it on this possession.
And I think it was because Tom told the guards, they're going inside and taking Lemenzana to the rim.
Lemenzana comes down with a rebound. Courtney Sims with a good look at exactly what they wanted. Couldn't get it to go. Axani.
The open side. Great deployment by Gary's guys. A quick timeout now. Tommy Amaker trying to get his guys together. Terrific looking set, Jim.
Axani is a high IQ guy, a 4-time member on the Dean list. And he and Lemenzana have really done some awful good work early in this ballgame on the interior, which Rutgers is a perimeter squad coming in. There's the quickness of Lemenzana earlier, and Axani just doing all the effort plays, Bill. Just knows how to read people, just plays the game with a high IQ. Again, a guy with a double major. Going to Rutgers, you would expect him to play that way.
It's the State University there, well regarded in academic circles, I might add, and 17 rebounds the other night, too, Ron. He's a competitor, Alexander.
About an hour and a half before the ball game, I had a great visit with him out on the floor, and this kid wants desperately to wind up going to Horton School of Business, and they want you to go to work for about 4 years before then you apply. But he said he seriously thought of trying to go to Penn, and then realized it wouldn't have made that much of a difference as far as if he takes care of business, he'll still be able to get, you know, possibly get into the Horton School of Business.
Well, he was talking to the right guy. With all your influence, I'm sure you'll be able to take care of him with some of your investment circles.
His grade point average is extremely high, and he's just one of those kids that he said he and his mom used to sit down and read the investment, the business pages together.
And I was wasting my time on the comics.
Count the passes coming out of this timeout for Michigan. That's about the 4th.
And a pry, too.
Horton, rainbow. I mean, that thing could bring the next rain here to New York. Scooby at the other end forces the issue. Can Webb hold on to it? Nope, he knocked it out of bounds. It'll go to Michigan.
You know, he didn't know the rule. He could have got back in play, stand on the floor, and hold the ball.
So we'll take a break. Michigan by 1, just over 13 to play in his first half.
Too quick, and I bet Tommy's probably talking to his young team about that, absorbing a scouting report and executing sometimes two different things, Coach.
I think that's exactly right. They walk through it the day of the game, and all of a sudden the lights go on. The cheerleaders arrive. That was a problem for you.
That's huge. That's huge.
And all of a sudden you're lost. You're in a quandary.
Yeah.
And they nice pressure by Doobie. He can play the other end as well. And I think when you play for this guy, you better play some defense too. I think this is a program that's going to be reckoned with. Rutgers. A lot of young people, very confident on the offensive end. And I think both coaches are looking at this as a stepping stone for their program.
Gary has really paid his dues. Turnaround, reversed it. Over the top goes Hill, and Adrian Hill puts it back up on the follow.
Well, he certainly wasn't over the hill on that particular play, huh? The big fella usually jams him. This time the small change by Doobie. Nickel diamond.
Hill is a relentless rebounder. I mean, he knows if I'm going to score, I've got to get clean-up misses, and that's exactly what he does. Doesn't elevate with great quickness, but he understands position and a strong body, carrying a lot of extra equipment on him. What do you say, 11 different pieces of headbands, wristbands, armbands, knee bands,
he's got his own
supports.
He's got his own manager.
Got his own
to carry his stuff. But he's got a difficult situation. He's rooting for guys to miss it so he can score.
He is.
He's like a punter.
He would love playing with me.
Buster Abram in the ball game, the leading scorer who does not start for the Michigan Wolverines. It is designed that way. Here's Horton all the way around the horn.
Nice. Ball
fake. Ramazana blocks it. And here comes Shields. To the other end. No, didn't score. And then he'll go to the line for a couple.
Okay, that's one of those calls I don't like. You know why? It wasn't seen. The trail official called it. The penetration, I was waiting for some contact there. Abram got back. A little small change at best. Let it happen.
I'm impressed with Rutgers' energy on the defensive end, Bill. And I wasn't completely sold on them defensively the other night, but so far, first 7.5 minutes of this ball game, now they're getting after some folks.
You know what?
Horton has got blood, guys, and has had to go over to the bench. They've had to take him out, and the training staff is taking care of him right now. This is a 7-0 run by Rutgers. Michigan started the night 4 of 4. Since then, they're 2 of 7.
In a hurry, Hunter now and Petway. Look at the inside defense. We said Lemenzana earlier. How about Hill stepping up?
You know, and Michigan's not helping their own cause, though, either.
And there's that blood. Eric Brookhuizen, the trainer, taking care of him. I told him I'd get it right.
Say it again. You worked on it.
Brookhuizen.
Okay.
I've been working on that for a couple of days. I gave him my number. I thought he might get in trouble in New York.
Oh, Petway is blocked also.
You mentioned defense, nothing like having a savior in the back. And I don't know if you got to go for it. You got to go a little bit. You got the crowd. You got the lead. Just relax a little bit. Boy, are they energized on the D, Jimmy.
Michigan again, they have only passed the ball maybe 3 or 4 times at the most this entire ball game.
16-14, Rutgers on top, and that turnover just now, their first of the ball game. We'll be right back.
And this gentleman we don't know, he got in on a pass. Happens to be one of our key big day. But Toko played for the Celtics. And, of course, Ronnie Perry, the athletic director there, his son does so much of the ESPN games. Very talented player and a great announcer as well. 50th anniversary, Holy Cross, 1954.
Well, I'll tell you, the Scarlet Knights have turned it up, particularly on defense, playing much, much better. They've had a couple of substitutions. Hill has come in and brought some real emotion and energy off the bench, Bill.
And I just am so impressed with the ability not to take away the dribble lane, but to lead him to somebody, Jimmy.
Michigan on that perimeter, they got to catch, and they've got to sweep and get defenders off of them right now.
Pretty good catch.
There you go.
Petway 41-inch vertical. You're going to have to get up on him quickly because not only can leap high, but leaps very quickly.
Yeah, he's a game changer with that elevation.
He's got Lamazana's ability to block shots, no question about it. Maybe not as long, but boy, he can get up quickly. Look at how they are guarding now. Not too many coaches would say to get out on a guy this far, but Rutgers, you better.
Well, Iowa State found out the other night you better get out that far on him because he's going to knock him down.
There's your man Hill. Johnson and Johnson, huh, with all the bandits.
Hill was about 8 feet out of his range, and he shot it from 10.
And they got it back, so he's safe.
On the run, air ball. Hunter grabs the rebound for Michigan. And now all the quick scoring has, everybody's kind of relaxed and settled into what game plan is going to be for the night. Petway again, turn around and too hard.
And they're going for Robinson. You know, that was a one-pass offense again. Jim, it's amazing. They look like they're trying to isolate on the inside people versus running their normal stuff. I look for them, and I could just see Tommy Amaker is talking to Hunter. Reverse the ball. Let's get into our quick hitting action. Let's turn the D a couple of times.
First foul on Robinson, the 4th team foul on the Wolverines. 10.5 minutes left in his opening half.
Raf, even the average defensive teams are good after one pass.
Abram with the steal, going to take it strong to the hoop, and he'll score it. We're tied.
There's that length on the perimeter. There's now a sub, a fake sub. Their leading scorer. Nice slip and the help in the back with Petway.
Lamazana unlucky on a shot. 3 gold jerseys right there underneath, and Michigan comes away with it.
That's what you want to do. There's a little back screen, down screen. This is a little more semblance of what they've been trying to do, Jim.
Ball's gone from one side to the other. That's the 6th pass, the 7th pass of this possession.
Horton well short on that one.
Whoops.
With several thousand officials from Rutgers tried to make the call of walk.
Unpaid.
Didn't get it. Hunter, plenty of time on the shot clock.
Good call, Ron. Plenty of time. I mean, no need to get in a hurry here. You still got 15 to work with.
Abram, he gets banged. Lamazana with the block. The turnaround. Petway can't get it. And Hill with the foul as he grabbed the ball over Hunter.
You know, the one thing about guys who elevate quickly, Jim, on the glass, you can really get good weak side position on them because they attack and try and stop.
Well, tomorrow, LeBron James leads the Cleveland Cavaliers in their fight for a spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs when they face the Milwaukee Bucks. NBA Friday on ESPN. Coverage begins with the Kia NBA shoot-around at 7:30 Eastern Time.
Michael Redd, of course, Tony Kukoc, amongst others. Keith Van Horn down there, Milwaukee now. Had a nice year, played well for New York as well.
3rd turnover against Michigan.
There's that mismatch again.
Sims comes down with the rebound. A 1 and out for Lamazana and the Scarlet Knights.
Now, I understand Michigan needs to drive this ball against the pressure, but they might want to start driving with the idea of penetrating pitch, not penetrating finish.
Nice job by Lamazana.
Sims' shot is blocked, and Lamazana picked up the foul.
I thought he had pretty good patience. He may have nicked him. But this is maybe a change since your pregame scouting report. I thought Lamazana held his ground here pretty good. And the whistle just a little bit late, but goodness. You know, I think refs have a hard time officiating shot blockers.
They do. And you saw Lamazana, man, hang in there, hang in there, hang in there, make the offensive guy leave first, then match him up top.
Lamazana's got 4 blocks already in this ballgame. 5 total for Rutgers, 2 for Michigan.
And a couple of changes which we don't register. You know, he really is a big influence.
Axani prepares to check back into the lineup for Rutgers. Ron Franklin, Jimmy Dykes, and the governor, Bill Raftery, coming to you from Madison Square Garden in the NIT Championship game. And we have had a really good start here. Michigan up by 3, 19-16.
Little zone look out of Michigan for the first time.
1-3-1, and Sims is supposed to be the back guy. They don't get out on the corner shooter. Brown had to slide down and help. Nice pick by Rutgers.
Abram. And I wonder, I was going to ask you this question. the Scarlet Knights, they have stepped it up defensively. We talked about that. But they're doing a lot of hand checking, and they got called right there. And I wonder how long they're going to let Gary's team get away with that before they do start calling nickel-dime stuff.
Well, Webb with that time with the hand check, and I do think they're leading them to defenders pretty good. But you're right. They start calling them, you got to use the feet.
You know what I like about both clubs in this tournament? They're both young clubs. I mean, a ton of freshmen and sophomores for Michigan. I'm not so sure it's a positive if you win the NIT with a senior-dominated ball club.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's nowhere to go the following year.
Exactly.
And don't forget, last year, St. John's and Georgetown really didn't have good years this year. Minnesota didn't as well. But over the years, teams have gotten better from this. Yeah.
Rutgers has now missed 5 straight shots.
Nice kick.
Webb looks up at the shot clock, still plenty of time, 13 seconds, and that's going to be a foul right there on the floor. Number 5, Deion Harris will pick it up. That's his first, and the team's with that program over there. And it may be somebody calling to tell him that, hey, you're on television right now. But what he's saying, I think I could read his lips, said, I can't hear you. And it is noisy in this arena. Some of the how many Rutgers fans would you say, Bill? You had somebody tell you how many thousands of tickets they sold.
They thought there were 16,000 tickets out. Of course, this guy's going to take all the credit. Bob O'Kay, the athletic director, his wife Terry alongside. Gino Harris there also on the board at Rutgers. But they are alive down there. Here's a little trap, Michigan, and it very effective coming out of the timeout. But that building, Jimmy, I don't know if you've done a game there. Have you?
At the rack, no, never have.
It's just Ron and I have been fortunate enough to be there. It's maybe the highest decibel level in the East. Let's put it that way.
It is very loud.
Ranked in the top 5, I think, overall.
It's got to be.
Most people poll.
And they don't lose at home. Connecticut by 1, and was it Providence by 2, if I'm not mistaken?
So the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wolverines. 21 seconds on the shot clock. 7.5 minutes left until halftime.
Incidentally, I'm sure that little pop on the air and Mr. Mulcahy will find me a beverage in San Antonio. Certainly hope so.
Well, you want to mention him again?
Nice little wrinkle off the timeout. That trap, would you say, Jim?
Typical Tommy Amaker stuff coming out of that Duke system. Change it up out of the timeout.
4 turnovers now against Michigan. As you know, that's a tough pass right there for a kid at 6'9", 6'10". You throw it at his ankles. 9 times out of 10, he's going to miss that.
It's not, you know what he has to do on that? He has to knock it to the ground and get down on it, believe it or not. You can see the struggle offensively there. But you're right, that's not a good pass to Hunter. And they get the screen down. Xanny, huh?
You know, we talked about Michigan, in our eyes anyway, struggling a little bit on the offensive end, but you look up, they've held Rutgers now to 16 points in 13 minutes. And again, that's coming from a guy that was the National Defender of the Year in '87. I think he still holds the record for 7 steals in the NCAA title game, Tommy Amaker did. So he understands the offense isn't clicking, we can still shut you down defensively.
I think he was just afraid of Mike, that's all. That's why he guarded so well. The wrath of Mike.
So Xanny, guys, has to go to the bench. That's his 2nd foul, and it means that Lamazana is back in the lineup, and he did not get an extended blow on the bench.
And they really were running running their stuff a little bit better now, Jim. This was a curl off the low box. Sims comes up empty, but again, weak side position. He's solid. Hunting it. Hunter.
Boy, Hunter, his head coach talked about him, been bringing him along slowly, and they are really pleased with what he has contributed during the NIT. 7-0 run by Michigan.
The zone really has Rutgers out of any kind of a rhythm on the offensive end.
And they've got to put it on the floor, I think, or hit Lamazana, let him turn and look.
Doobie holds up just behind Joins. Battle for the rebound, and it'll come to the maize and blue of Michigan.
Numbers.
Off on the wing, Horton.
Nice solid delivery from the point. Old time religion. Stop at the foul line. You heard that as a baby.
Yes, sir.
And don't charge.
It talked about the versatility and interchangeable parts on the defensive end. They always have a couple of 3 guys on the floor that can catch, go to one end to the other, and convert on you.
And you better clip the wings on this team. They can fly. Little kiss delivery at the end. You better get back and identify.
Michigan on a 9-0 run right now. And again, I think it's all gone because of their switching defense down there into the zone. I mean, Rutgers right now playing catch around the perimeter and not aggressive at all.
You know, any change with young guys is a problem, Ron. A 9-0 drought, a major issue. The ability to run the floor, Michigan, and set up by the defense, I think.
Well, that stat right there that they just put up, 8-2 on fast break points, really solidifies what you guys are talking about.
That's a disgrace. I mean, he can have it and we can't.
The Yankee cap. You know about the Yankee cap? You're a Red Sox fan. And what does Tommy Amaker do out of that timeout? Switches again.
Well, again, how do you react? I mean, that's the growth of a team.
We got Webb at the point guard for Rutgers as a freshman. Doobie a freshman. Making them think a little.
And that worked. A deep shot and not a good rotation on it either.
Horton off to Robinson here on the wing. Hunter taking a long time, put it on the floor.
Sometimes you got to turn and face and break the guy down. Here's a pick and pop.
And Hunter too hard on that one, and that's going to be Joins with a push. Boy, Sims' body came flying out of the pile. Tonight, Pittsburgh's Julius Page and Andre Emmett of Texas Tech were among the participants in the 2004 College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Contest. It's all a part of a week of madness presented by Harley-Davidson on ESPN.
You know who else is going to be there shooting that basketball? Young guy we saw the other night, Luke Jackson from Oregon.
That's right.
Did he go home first?
Yeah. Hopped on a plane and headed down there.
Who do you like? Jimmy, you've seen
in the slam dunk? Andre Emmett would be hard to beat. I just think he's got a lot of power in his game for a 6'5" guy.
Have you seen Page?
I've seen Page.
Size.
Another good call.
Can really elevate.
I like the three-point shooter from Florida A&M. I believe Woods is his name.
I'm not crazy about the judges, though. I mean, what does Huggy Bear know about a slam?
Mark Few.
He might slam dunk a few himself, but for his Tubby with a great year. The UAB taking their toll.
I think Hill with the lane violation there. So Courtney Sims gets to stay at the line, and he'll try one more. See the numbers on him: 6 points, 3 rebounds. Courtney Sims, the only player on the Michigan team that has started every ball game of the season.
Turned down Syracuse, UConn, North Carolina, and Maryland.
Boy, highly thought of him again as a youngster, too, really learning the game. I'm impressed how they've weak side rebounded. Nice drop stepping out. That's goaltending. He's got some moves, and they're better, I think, when Lamazana beats them inside a little bit. Then he can come out. The feel here so you can drop step, Jimmy. Just a nice little play.
Yeah, he's got the quickness to get things done. He's not a true back-to-the-basket, sit-on-your-legs type guy.
Well, that ended a drought of 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
Tough place to catch it, isn't it?
Sure was.
Boy, did they get lucky. Right through Hunter's hands and off, and the easy score by Harris.
And you know what's amazing, though? Sims got away with that because of his size. I mean, it was a slip pass, deflected fortuitously to a Michigan player, but he can see over it. Put a guard in that Death Valley, you've got some problems. Automatic switch here, really good. Doobie's got to stay within himself.
Ball is blocked inside. Courtney Sims, I believe, got a hand on it.
Karch Karai got that one. Spike.
Nope, not there. And Webb gets the long carry. Now, guys, Scooby still hasn't scored, and we're about to go under 4 minutes left in this first half.
Well, he got the hand in there. Pretty good footwork, though, huh? Just the arm. If they hadn't turned it over, they may not have called it.
Chris Hunter, his first, and that's going to be, what, the 7th team foul against the Michigan Wolverines.
Ron, going back to your point about Doobie not scoring in this ball game, Michigan's got, again, always 3 guys on the floor that are between 6'3" and 6'6", that are quick. They can get up into you. If they get picked off, they switch out well, and there's another guy just like him picking him up. And Doobie, talking before the ball game, he said, I didn't play ball organized until my junior and senior year in high school, and I was always a 2-guard. Tried to play a little bit of the point this year, and did a terrific job in the 2-guard spot in practice, and now back to my natural position. Understands he's got to get better ball skills to develop into a point in his career.
I played for Jared Quinn up at St. Thomas More, and of course we mentioned Jack Bringell at Grady. I mean, this is a real talent, I think. Here's a goal. Don't gamble.
Lamazana.
Get it out of town.
5 blocks for him in his first half. He's also got 9 points and 3 rebounds to go with those 5 blocks.
Well, he's the postmaster general in New Jersey, huh?
Tell you what,
return.
Good thing he packed his uniform tonight.
He has been a force and a steal here. Good heady play by, I don't know about this. Nobody underneath. Look at, fortunate.
Adrian Hill will get the putback. And it's a 6-point ball game on a really bad mental error on the part of the Michigan Wolverines.
Rutgers guards, they will play hard. On both ends of the floor, whatever they do it going full speed.
Great reaction on the rebound.
Yes,
there was nobody there on a bad shot.
Robinson falling away, maybe a little bit of a force. Hunter on the rebound. He'll get it back to Robinson, and an offensive foul. Second foul on him, and again, why the hurry? Let's take a timeout. 27-21, Michigan. Lamazana working against Brown.
So I think he can turn and face Brown. He got the steps here. That's not the right guy out there. Sims in control. That's not Hill's game. 5 turnovers, Ron? Yeah. Not bad, really, at the high pace.
Well, and they started off so very well. They didn't have their first turnover until like 13-20 left here in this first half.
And guys, again, the crowd is back out of the game. If I'm Michigan, I make the team in red work this time on the defensive end.
And, you know, Doobie is struggling on offense, but he is guarding, Jimmy, and I think that's what you look for.
Lester Abram, too hard off the back iron. Here's Doobie. And this crowd wants desperately to see him start to light it up again.
Where are you going now? That's not how you get into it, though. See? That's inexperience. Just relax a little. It'll come. You know, Doobie just looked over at Tommy Amaker like saying, Coach, get somebody else on me.
Yeah, but he's becoming an easy guard right now.
Playing into the defender's hands, right?
Exactly.
Stinson had the great night the other night. A majority of it came in the second half. There was patience there.
It's tough to have a good night every night.
Yeah.
Not that we don't try.
Just 1 out of every 3 or 4.
Doobie active without the ball. That's what he has to be. Use the bounce now.
There's the problem with Brown on him.
Ball is knocked away, and it's taken away by Michigan.
Gave it up too late there. Horton couldn't get control. They get out and fill as well as most teams. You know that are fast break oriented.
Yes, they do.
Second foul on Webb.
And they run with a purpose. You don't see them all bunched up running down the middle of the floor together. There's always a guy in the middle of the floor, 2 guys on the wings, and a big guy trailing.
You get the feeling watching Gary, and we just saw him on the screen, that he's going to be happy just to be in touch going in at halftime, maybe address some situations, maybe shot selection.
Well, a guy that knows how to build programs. You know, he was 22 wins and 35 losses his first 2 years at Kent State. But then his last 3 years, he was 70 wins and 25. So you know he's looking at this tournament as another stepping stone for this Rutgers program.
What do we say, 17 years as an assistant, too, at Penn State. So, I mean, he's seen it all, and you can learn positively and negatively, too, as a coach. Some things guys ran or the way they handled situations that you did not like. Nice pump, and look at the help.
Lamazana, nope.
Oh.
Follow and knocks it down.
That's as quick as you can be after a missed jumper.
He's got 11 points.
Yeah, he shot it from 10 or 11 feet.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was right underneath the rim. My goodness.
Explosive.
Sometimes a guy like that, his best shot is his first miss.
Follow up.
Yeah.
And these two teams really get up into a passing lane now. And small change. That's what you alluded to. Wigan this time, Ryan.
First foul on Joel Wigan. But in team fouls, it's team foul number 9.
Watch when he hits the floor, boom, runs right to the front of the rim. And again, that shot was taken from about 10 feet away.
Do you know you're the first one to know it's not going in, though?
Yes.
So you better get after it sometimes if you take a bad one. That was not a bad shot, obviously, but the amazing recovery.
You know, you look at Lamazana's, he takes 12 shots a ball game right now, only makes 4 or 5. So maybe his shot selection can be questioned, but his effort is always there.
No, you know what I think? He's so good in different spots, it becomes confusing in games. And this should be off. No, they got first assist.
That's
Brian Kersey supposed to shoot it. Step into the shot, Brian.
good hands here, guys. I'm glad you grabbed that cup of beverage, though, because
biggest
I
play
didn't
of the
want
game,
to burn
wasn't
it.
I waited for it to settle down.
Harris for three. Nope.
Nice check out.
Yeah, Shields is going to be called for the foul. He just kept, it was like they were at a waltz. And he said, hey, we're not at the prom, and they just got him for his first foul.
I think they got the second guy to foul. That's one of those deals. I think he did a nice job initially, and then he may have fouled later while he was being fouled. But they've done a nice job getting to the offensive glass, Michigan.
See Michigan back on this free throw stripe again, guys. They have made more free throws in this tournament than their opponents have attempted.
Well, that's something else you get.
Always like that.
You get that. That's a Dukism too. This year,
they're not very good tonight, though. They're only 50%. Coming up at a halftime, Final Four preview, National Hockey League playoff picture, and Sixers without Iverson. That on the halftime report. Dave Rebson standing by. And that'll come in a minute and 12 seconds from now, as far as playing time. 7-point lead, Michigan.
And you know 2 and 5 in the red jersey are just itching for an open three-point look.
And it just being to Horton this time on Shields. And look at the length. We mentioned before you can get up in. The hand always ready for the jump shot. Nice bait there, huh?
Doobie, no, wouldn't go, and it's brought down by Michigan. Pushing it up, number 2, Lester Abram. And then Horton on the other side, and he'll score right over the top of Adrian Hill. He's got 9.
Ron, how aggressive was that play? I mean, he really body searched, went for the numbers, took the hit, and kissed it in.
Rutgers needs to score on this trip right here, Bill. It's back to a 9-point margin. They got thousands of folks here, but they have been somewhat silenced by this defensive effort by Michigan in the first half.
I think they should take the last one right now, Ron. Make sure you don't give Michigan a chance.
Shot clock is down to 7, down to 6. Downtown Manhattan with that shot. And Shields gets it. 2 seconds on the clock, and he nails it.
Boy, is that big. You're right.
Oh, my goodness.
A little mo to the red shirts.
Shields and Doobie only 6 points between.
Brown really hesitate, froze. A sensational shot blocker.
We talked about the half-twos as far as the Scarlet Knights are concerned. Another half-two as far as Michigan is concerned. Bernard Robinson Jr. with 2 fouls. He needs to keep it at 2 and not get the third to have to go to the bench as Lamazana scores again.
I think they need that inside scoring. Forget the jump shot for at least him.
Yeah.
Bill, watching Rutgers just the first series offensively, good movement, but not screening. I think you got to have screening against that tough man-to-man defense of the team in yellow.
To shake a nice step through here. How about that? Nice look by Sims.
Just see if there's any screens set this time by Rutgers.
See, they heard you. Slip.
The ball screen.
Nickel dimer by Brown. By the way, we talked about ham bone, wishbone, and his football the other night. That's number 2 on him.
Yeah.
I was talking to him. He told me how he can throw a baseball. That when this is all done, he may consider giving that a shot.
Ham bone.
Ham bone.
Really?
Mention him out in the mound, elevated like that. That body saying, "Ooh, mommy, get me out of here."
My favorite thing about ham bone though right now, you got Robinson, who's a big team third team member. Got a couple of all-freshman team guys, and his biggest accolades of the year, he was the 3-time radio network player of the game. That's good.
That's excellent. And you know what else? What is it? The Mr. Hustle Award, Steve Grody Award. That's pretty.
Oh, there we go.
There's a guy, a name out of the past.
So let's go to break. Doobie now 0 of 9.
Turned his season around. I was out there about a month and a half ago. He was not the freshman player of the year of last year.
Right.
He was not himself mentally. Now the confidence level, extraordinary job that he's been able to do with himself, and I'm sure Tommy Amaker and his staff stepping into that jumper, a little nylon from deep.
Well, tonight, a week of madness presented by Harley-Davidson continues with the college slam dunk and 3-point contest. 9 Eastern on ESPN. It's all a part of a week of madness presented by Harley-Davidson on ESPN.
Some terrific talent. Daryl Fitz, Luke Jackson, Terrence Woods from Florida A&M, I believe, led the nation in 3-point shooting this year. Mouton, your boy from down at Texas, will be stroking some.
Did I see Andre Barrett was going? Did you mention that before from Seton Hall? I thought he was going to be down there too.
I think it's going to come down between Julius Page and Andre Emmett in the dunk.
Yeah, I would think so.
Let's go with those two.
I'm a big Page guy. I mean, he's kept it under wraps in Steeltown.
Not to neglect the women. Kelly Mazzani from Penn State might walk away with that 3 ball as well.
There you go.
First basket at the 6:24 mark. 16:24. He was 0 for 9 prior to that.
And Horton steps into another open look. And Robinson had punished with the bounce. I think they got to run some stuff the next time. Michigan. And conversely, get the guards unlocked here somehow. Wow. Shields and Doobie.
Tries to step through, and a jump ball is called, and it's going to go to Michigan.
And more importantly, he's turned the Garden into the rack. 35 miles away. This is a tough place to come in, just like it is in Piscataway. Rutgers with a good start, Jimmy Dykes. Feed the guy that can get you to the rim. They got the foul there, a little late in the help. Do you notice how college kids don't feed a guy that does get hot?
You're right. They lose track of it. You know.
Yeah.
Webb with 3 fouls now. Joel Wiggin, Jr. out of the Bronx, will come in replacing Webb, who may have to sit on the bench for a bit. Left-hander Robinson, and he cans it.
You know what? That's a nice play. The defense is on your right hip.
Yep.
And they got to come across you to block the shot with the left hand. Ooh, pretty good aggressive play to the wing. And Tommy Amaker picks up the loose ball.
Second foul on Abram.
I think that's the other thing about Michigan. They put Tommy can put 4 different guys on the floor that are left-handed. So they're a versatile club that they go to their left a lot. I think they understand their strength, just like that out-of-bounds play.
You had mentioned that.
Wow.
Deep Shields. Unlimited range.
Shields now in double figures. He's got 11. At the other end, very quick.
Too quick. And you're right, Ron.
5-point game, and his crowd is dying to get right back in it. That foul is going to be on number 5, Deion Harris. Second foul on him, and the 3rd team foul on Michigan.
Last year it was St. John's controlling this arena on this night.
The red shirts prevail again, huh?
Yes, they do.
Little pick and pop for Lamenzana. Disdain. Tough shot.
Falling away, that's an air ball, but Wiggin is right there to get the garbage and score. This is an 11-2 run by Rutgers.
They've got him running faster. Kick ball. It's interesting, the press. You don't steal it in backcourt. You don't steal it at half court. They take a quick shot or heighten their pace of play. It's to your advantage, and that's exactly what Rutgers is doing now.
Brown will go to the bench and get a bit of a breather. Well, he has worked hard.
You've got to keep in mind, those are young guards on the floor for Tommy Amaker.
Tough shot here, too, Jimmy. They are really in overdrive, and I think it's Rutgers stepping up the steam.
Instead of Doobie getting 30 tonight, it might be Lamenzana that gets that huge number.
Look where they are guarding the dribbler. I mean, that's amazing. And for good reason, too.
Yeah.
Shot clock is at 10. Wiggin, get it out of here.
Good foul, believe it or not. Lamenzana way before the goal. They wipe it out. Although you don't like to see him, even though it's only number 2 on Lamenzana.
2 on Lamenzana. Petway with the block down here. The young man with the 41-inch vertical we talked about the other night. They call Air Georgia. He's out of Griffin, Georgia.
And I think they call him RJ, too, after Richard Jefferson. In other words, he'll have a ton of them by the time he's finished.
Lester Abram, nope. And Petway lucky he didn't get a foul for over the back right there.
The Rutgers offense continues to stay spread. A few on-ball screens, but they're really in that attack mode right now.
And the bounce here.
There's the 3rd foul on Robinson.
They're not ahead of the dribbler, not containing, forcing him the other way, getting some help.
We talked about Robertson the other night. Robinson that this is what he really enjoys doing, and that is he always gets the best offensive player of the opposition. It is the challenge that he enjoys. But right now, he just picked up his third foul at 12 minutes and 30 seconds left, and we'll see how long that Tommy Amaker will keep him on the bench. Wow.
That's a lock and load, huh? Before he had the ball in his hands.
Horton off of the wing, three-pointer. Nope, not there. And Petway skies for the rebound.
Not only does he elevate quickly, he is quick to the ball.
You know the other nickname he had in high school? Throw it up. Because that's what he would say on offense. Just throw it up and let me go get it.
He can be electrifying. You're not running anything. It's all individual.
Horton steps through. Petway, nope. Tip by Petway, wouldn't go. And Axe comes down with the basketball.
Ron, they're doing some good things. It's just not ringing the bell right now. So they got to rely on the D. Oh, they had Axani. Going to give away before.
Petway with the foul. First one on him. Let's take a break. Michigan's lead cut to 3. We'll be right back. Michigan in the last 4 minutes and 55 seconds, only 1 of 10 from the field.
And of course, this is Lucy Carlson when he talked about the long history of this tournament. Pete passed away, the late great Pete Carlesimo. Of course, PJ the son. I don't know what he's doing now with himself. Involved in basketball somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. But we obviously miss Pete. Lucy, one of the great ladies, wonderful family, and still one of the pillars of the NIT with her involvement.
That ball blocked by number 31, Chris Hunter.
You can just almost count on it like clockwork. Coming out of a timeout, Michigan, if they're on the defensive end, they're going to throw a different look at you than what they had going into the timeout.
And it can be puzzling for young teams. The reaction, not the same. Here's a nice deflection. Well, I think Petway, one of those guys that's going to learn how to play offensively. He's going to be something special, I think. Around that rim.
He has so much ability.
I mean, how many guys do we see that are 6'9" with a 41-inch vertical? That's a hard find now.
And the speed.
That three-pointer was off, and there's a foul. A reach in by Harris. That's 3 on him, and it's 16 fouls on the Wolverines.
I mean, it's hard to say that a guy that only averages 5 points and 6 rebounders is a real key guy for you, but that is exactly what Axani is.
Lamazana with the score.
Look at the steal.
17 points and a steal. They can take the lead right here. Well, the crowd will let you know, but a whistle on a foul as Axani is going to go to the free throw line.
What a stud he's become. Brown is coming in for one reason. They got to match the big toughness of Sean Axani, who's just carved out territory and really holding his position under there despite getting knocked around.
Hunter picks up his second foul, and now it is a bonus situation. We still got a lot of time left to play at the 11:05 mark as 1-1 for Rutgers.
And we always talk about tickers, Jimmy, and Valentine's.
Right.
This is a time now that Michigan's got to show they can step out there and get after them.
Because the guy at the free throw stripe, he has a large one.
It's not going smooth. Look at them. They're out hustling him now.
Brown had it knocked away. He had the rebound. A hand came through, knocked it loose. Off the glass, Rutgers is back on top. It is last time that they led 16-14, and another steal. Doobie.
Look at them attack.
Ease up if you're Michigan.
Ooh, just back it off the throttle. Boy, Rutgers can really get energized.
Well, Abram takes the shot. They got the rebound.
Let Brown touch it more. He doesn't rush into anything. And they get him on the end line. The track work.
Bill, do you ever used to tell your teams, don't fight pressure with pressure? Because right now, that's what Michigan's trying to do. First of all, they attack the high shoulder. Michigan does defensively, allows the baseline drive.
And look who's coming out. It's Brown, and they read it. He knew he could put it on the deck, take him to the rim, and then a little smooch at the end.
Tommy Amaker goes over to talk to his senior, Bernard Robinson Jr. Boy, I mean, Michigan, like, that ball is a hot potato. It's such a rush. this half on every touch of the basketball for no good reason.
You know, they showed a zone alignment, but they went back to man.
I think it was a box and one, believe it or not.
On
they ragged him, and they were in a little disjointed box, a little matchup.
Ouch.
Now that'll get you in some difficulty. But I think Rutgers is just energized, stepped it up more, forcing the quickness now.
Horton, boy, no foul called. He got ripped to the court. Shields at the other end, and Brown got a hand up.
And Ron, I think the call down at the other end was okay. I'll tell you why. The offensive guy went right at the body of the defender. If anything, it could have gone the other way. I think it was a good non-call.
You know, but again, Bill, they had the ball for what, 6 seconds, and I know they think they got a breakaway, but good heavens, use some clock. They're playing right into the hands of Rutgers.
A lot of coaches have a 5, 7, 10 pass. This is the situation. See now as he searched him around, he went into his territory. I like the non-call, but a lot of guys will have a numbered passing routine.
Yeah.
I don't want a shot unless it's a layup, unless it's touched by everybody once, twice, whatever the call might be. That's what they need.
Only reason I said what I did is you could see that circle, that NBA circle underneath the defender. Way outside for three, and there it is. Deion Harris finally starts to break the drought. He is in double figures with 10.
What a great learning experience, though, for the young perimeter players of Michigan.
No question about it. Both teams, I think, getting a lot out of this.
Shims tries to make the defensive play. Was there to intimidate just enough. And another rebound by Brown. Horton falling away.
Where are you going? Such a hurry. And, you know, the other end, Rutgers, they forgot Lemons-on all of a sudden. He hasn't had the touches.
You know, and I was watching Tommy Amaker as Michigan advanced the ball that time. He was trying to call a set play.
Look at his hands. Palms keep going down, saying, calm down, slow down.
Just relax a little bit. But I think Rutgers makes you play at a frenetic pace.
Horton off the mark. About to hit the 8.5-minute mark. Lamazano lost it, and they're fortunate as Webb came back with it.
Get inside. Don't settle for the deep one. That's what he'll do once in a while. That's it. They are exhibiting a little more patience than Michigan. Pick and pop. We got him at the top. And Brown offers it up, but the counter. How about that?
What a possession. They ran that shot clock down to 6 and then scored it.
Wiggin with a solid move and a little kiss. We got one, guys.
8:07 left in our championship game of the NIT, and we're tied at 46.
You know what? Wiggin is a guy that he's not. You know, my other partner and I enjoyed the sights and sounds of New York last night as well. Went and saw the play Wicked. Terrific.
It's great what Alka-Seltzer can do for you too. Inadvertent turnover. My goodness, costly.
10 turnovers, Michigan. In the semifinal game, only 1 turnover in the second half on Tuesday night.
And just as you were saying in the background, there was the same thing by Tommy Amaker. Calm down. Easier said than done.
Did he save it? Duke Edsel right here in front of us says it'll go to the Wolverines of Michigan. We got a stoppage in play.
ESPN's presentation of the postseason NIT, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com.
We are back. Nice job by Gary Waters and his staff at Rutgers. Boy, there were times in the early going to the second half. They're down by 13. And Bill, their chances didn't look real good at coming back. All of a sudden, we're tied.
I thought he was very calm with Jimmy Dykes going in at halftime as to what he wanted to do. I don't see the screening that's improved, but I think the pace has improved. Right? Not in a hurry, and maybe a few more touches to Lemons-on would help the little guys as well, Jim.
You know, also, I think you would probably tell your There's so much one-on-one going on in this ball game. I think you've got to defend right now with the idea of I don't need help.
Wow,
He didn't need help.
They need some help back there on everybody up front. No rotation back, and a great read.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The chest-to-chest defense right now has to be in place in this ball game.
A little switch to the zone. Little 1-3-1. Sims running baseline to baseline.
It worked in the first 20 minutes for him.
And they will trap out of this thing, too.
Rutgers was able to attack that short corner in the first half of this.
Shot clock under 10. Way downtown, off the mark. Rebounded by Lester Abram.
Pretty good checkout by Abram. He's the guy that calms him down.
See Tommy Amaker waving that hand. That means motion. Let's turn him over.
That's what they're doing now. This is one of the few this half. Going side to side. They go to the other side. That's a first. Prying twice on one side.
Shot clock is at 10.
Now you got to think offensive rebound if you're one of the big guys. Oh, goodness. What a tough angle. Guy wasn't set. In this case, Sims and Hill.
12 turnovers, and they ran the clock down to 3 seconds. Far more patient. And he bounced it to the outside court, and he was inside.
Now, some kids say, Coach, why don't we shoot it early? We turned it over.
Some assistant coaches would say that as well.
You have heard that on the sideline, haven't you?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure Michigan has that just true quarterback, true point guard that you got to have in March.
Wigan, Newt, whistle on the foul inside, though. Well, tonight, Pittsburgh's Julius Page and Andre Emmett of Texas Tech were among the participants in the 2004 College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Contest. All a part of a week of madness presented by Harley-Davidson on ESPN.
Boy, some athletes in there. Winston Davis from Louisiana Lafayette. Sylvester Willis from Southern Illinois.
And we saw Matthews here in the Big East tournament from Virginia Tech. Very talented guy.
But again, I question the selection in the judges.
Very much so.
Huggins, Tubby Smith, Mark Few.
Well, now Mark Few, he could elevate.
Gentlemen,
I've seen him about midnight elevating pretty good.
Third foul on Lester Abram, and he's only contributed 3 points tonight, which is about 10 below his average.
And they get a foul on the free throw, going the other way.
I talked about Michigan not having a true point guard on the floor. They've got a verbal commitment right now from a kid named Jarrett Smith out of Romulus High School in Michigan, who will probably be that true point.
Look who's making the decisions back here. Brown.
That foul was on Hill, his second.
Or wasn't that song ham bone connected to your neck bone?
Yeah. He's got a good neck bone.
You got to have a head, and he does.
Double major in econ and exercise science.
I think his brother, wasn't his brother an engineering major?
Two of his brothers.
Yeah. And one was a manager, I think, years ago.
Both are graduates of the University of Michigan. Michigan leads by a couple. Shot clock is down to 7. And the bouncer, and
wow,
is this deja vu?
Well, you know, the angle.
We just saw that.
Jimmy, you were a guard. The angle is impossible to make the entry.
Impossible.
You just have to get it all the way to the side and work at it.
You got to take it over one for sure, and probably 2 more bounces.
A lot of guys say get beneath the foul line at least, and then make sure the guy's on the high side. There's that shirt you were.
Do they still believe right now with Mr. Doobie struggling from outside?
Well, they're not going to turn the shirt in.
They turn it inside out for a while.
He was 0 for 9. He finally scored at the 16-24 mark.
Boy, Lemenzana makes the goal, but he had Doobie wide in the corner. I thought it would have been a nice kick for them. Nevertheless,
19 points for Lemenzana.
He is so good getting to that 10, 12-foot mark in the orange area of this floor.
Robinson with a 3-point attempt. That is off the mark. The tip back inside.
Look who's there.
Brown takes it away.
Gotta love him.
Courtney Sims scores it.
And a nice shield off by Sims. He really understands position. But Brown coming up mighty big.
Sims now with 9 points.
Michigan has changed defenses just enough to keep Rutgers out of the flow.
They got the other way. Lemenzana got caught with a moving screen. Ron and Jim. And Lamenzano was moving, and that's just hustle by Robinson that made that play, Jim.
You know what? That's a great example of a guy not accepting a screen. You hear coaches all the time in every walkthrough we go through, don't be screened tonight, don't be screened tonight. And that time Robinson, he could have been screened, but he refused it.
And Sandy prepares to check back into the lineup for the Scarlet Knights. Knocked out of bounds, 17 seconds on the shot clock. It'll stay with the Wolverines. Axe comes in, and number 4, Adrian Hill, will go to the bench.
And a well-rested for the home stretch. Gary really saving him now. 4:18 left. I don't think he'll come out of the game.
Axe was the man that got them going in the second half, just like Brown was the guy that got the Michigan Wolverines going. The two blue-collar guys.
Shot clock again.
7 seconds. Robinson off the mark on that one. Tipped up. Taken away by Hunter inside, and he'll put it back.
I'll tell you what, though, Robinson got away with one. He went right over the top to keep it alive. Very costly for Rutgers.
4 points now for Hunter. Shield. The ball is blocked by Courtney Sims. And out on the wing, here's Horton. Robinson blocked by Lamenzano. How many does he have now? We've got him for 8.
Look at this. Oh, my goodness. That's as long. They get the timeout. Well, Lamenzano has done some job on the defensive end. But why was Robinson shooting it? 28 seconds left.
I'm sure Tommy Amaker is going to ask him the same thing in this timeout.
Guys, Lamenzano is 1 away from equaling the NIT block record in the NIT. And it's held by Ralph Sampson with 9, Brad Sellers of Ohio State, and Roy Rogers of Alabama, 1996.
Well, you would expect those guys. Roy Rogers was a great elevator, but Lamenzano, I think, extraordinary that he anticipates beautifully, and he can block his guy and off the ball. Some guys are great off the ball, Jimmy. He's both and more than adequate at both.
And it almost appears at times he jumps as high as he has to. I mean, he's got an extra booster in him when he's on his way up.
A triple-double looming.
I'm starting to say, and I hope he gets it.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful.
You just don't see it very often.
Not with blocks.
He'll get looks at the next level because of the skill set that he has in a 6'10" body.
With a sense of timing. Almost stolen by Shields as he gambled on it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sims wants to come back outside. He has no idea that that clock is down that low. I don't believe it. He loses it.
He shouldn't have had it out there. They were trying to get it away. Nice hustle back by Horton.
In traffic wrap, you can't keep that ball on the same side more than about 2 bounces bringing it up. That third bounce, boom, it's usually gone out of your hands.
With this foot speed, too.
Yes,
right?
sir.
You know what's amazing? They face guarded Rutgers that time. They wouldn't let the guards get it back, Ron.
Under 3 minutes to play.
Little nickel dimer there.
Second foul on Scooby. So we'll take a timeout.
Scooby-Doo.
52-40.
Well, you are older than me.
Harpley and McCormick, pretty tough combo.
He could jump at one time.
Jimmy wound up being the MVP of that NIT tournament as the Wolverines won it 1984 and trying to duplicate it now 20 years later.
And that was Bill up there with the Nets, huh? I'm sure he had a ladder.
You know what? If I'm the assistant coach right now and Coach Raff, you're my head coach, before we get in that huddle, the last thing I tell you is make sure you tell everybody rebound the basketball. A low-scoring game now, there's a real premium on cleaning up those misses.
So this huge throng of partisans for the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers trying to help their ball club as the chants go on. Thousands came over here on the train from the state of New Jersey. Right now their club is down by 4, and Michigan with the basketball and 20 seconds on the shot clock, and it looks as though, was that Quincy Doobie?
It wasn't. They're denying the guards the ball back, which I liked. And he didn't think he held, but occasionally you'll stick that arm over to ward the guy off.
Bill, this is the first time that Michigan's going to go to the line in the second half.
Wow, and Jimmy, you were talking earlier about how much they've improved in that area during the tournament.
Normally a club that's making more free throws than the opponents have attempted. And Doobie will learn, even when you become a denial defender, it's still all about your feet. Your feet have to lead the rest of your body.
Well, this is when you start to see those incidences, though. Guys are a little bit tired, fatigued, don't get spaced properly. Well, Brown's coming in for the shooter. That's why they put him back at the half-court spot.
Brown sets to check in, slam dunk at the three-point shooting contest coming up next. Second one on the way, and he gets them both. 54-48, a 6-0 run by the Wolverines as Harris will go to the bench and Brown is back in the lineup. So that means that Axani and Brown in the ball game at the same time. See who can bang the most.
And they will be doing some duking down that 3-second area.
And they've got Hunter on Lamazani now. And I like that defensive move by Michigan.
Strong to the hoop, and Quincy can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Daniel Horton.
Now this is when you think clock. If you're Michigan, anything but a layup early. Just run it.
Whoa, almost threw that one away, did Hunter. Shot clock is at 15.
And this is when you don't want to foul, Ron. Just play your guy.
Ball almost knocked away. It's saved. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Horton drives it inside, gives it to Robinson, and he was fouled with 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Boy, that is a killer. All that hustle, they got a little out of position, disjointed.
Axani with his 3rd foul.
You know what? But Michigan did what they had to do. Shot clock winding down. You got to drive that ball, attack the rim, and put the game in the hands of the officials to make a call. And they got one.
And get your experienced guy to the free throw line. 77%. It'll get you home.
You think about the year this guy's had as the only senior on a club with that's playing those top 9 or 10 guys. He's had a load to handle. Bernard Robinson Jr. for Tommy Amaker.
And you got to love him hanging in. We talked about this the other night. The timeout now by Rutgers. A guy that went through some tough times.
Now they've got one of 3 minutes and 35 seconds.
And again, the change of the D a little bit different. More of a 2-3. Oh, tough.
Knocked away is going to be stolen by Abel.
You don't need it. Oh. Tommy's over there with those. He's had his hands down more. Say, just take it easy.
Like a choir director.
Yeah.
It's pianissimo. It's not forte.
Well, there's that length, though, of Michigan defensively. Abram at 6'6" with quickness. Not only did he get the deflection, but then keep it from going out of bounds.
Well, I'm just thinking the coach wants a wall, so they want a rat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Brown goes to the sideline, and Harris will come back in. And now Axe will go to the sideline for the Scarlet Knights. And who is it? Joel Wiggin checks in. 1:23 left in our ball game. Michigan can make it a double-digit lead on this trip right here.
Well, they're just going to play, so play and don't foul as they did earlier. Getting those passing lanes. You got the big guy in the back, Lamazana, to help on a breakdown.
You know, if you're Michigan with the ball, you don't expect a foul to be called now. You're strong with it.
Well, look at when they foul. I think Wiggin outside, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Wow.
They let a lot of time go off that clock if they were going to foul.
You got to do it right away.
Yeah, they wasted a bunch of it. Brown will come back in. Nope. He'll come in. Harris will go back to the bench.
And guys, in my eyes, what Michigan has proven again to me tonight in March, the last weekend of March when you're playing basketball, or now April, it all comes back down to how well you defend. Rutgers came in averaging 75 points a ball game, and right now they've got 48. And I expect the same kind of thing to maybe play out on Monday night in San Antonio.
Yeah, you might be right. Of course, some pretty defensive-minded guys down there. They only give up 63 points, Michigan, as well. I mean, they do it at both ends.
9-0 run by Michigan. Webb takes it to the hoop strong, and he was fouled. Now, Rutgers has been to the line this half, but they haven't hit a shot. They're 0 of 3 from the free throw line. That miss by Robinson a moment ago, they haven't been much, but it's their first miss. They're 5 of 6 in the second half.
And I like this, the quick hitter by Rutgers. Now you get your D. You got to make the free throws, and you can do a lot of little wrinkles now. Maybe face guard the inbounder, or get off him and double up on the logical receiver.
Bill, that free throw, that's the first time they've scored in 4 minutes and 25 seconds. And to reiterate, a 7-15 drought back in the first half. So the confusion on defense, almost 12 minutes of drought caused by Michigan's D.
They're going to have to give it on the catch, I think. There they go. Webb out in the half-court area, giving it up. Extend the game is their job. Hope guys miss free throws. Number 4 on Marquise.
You know, it is a simple play, but a have-to play out of Graham Brown. He threw that ball in bounds. He didn't fall asleep. He stepped right in and expected the pass back to get it quickly reversed. I mean, a high IQ guy is Graham Brown in all areas.
He really knows how to play. He was telling me the AAU is the reason he stopped playing football, because he had to work in this spring and all the tournaments and everything else. And he's enjoyable to be around. I mean, these guys really appreciate the effort he extends.
It's interesting the parallel between himself and Axani for Rutgers. Downtown 3, they call it a timeout.
They won't go away. Are you hanging tough? And that's one of those you don't give up. You got to get up on the shooters. They've done a great job all game. Get out there. You just see Brown, not his guy, and I think a little late by Robinson, and they're down to 1 timeout each.
So what do we have to have, gentlemen? 5-point lead by Michigan.
Well, same thing's going to happen. Rutgers is maybe going to face guard, maybe put a center fielder, and expect contact as soon as the catch is that one of your kids is getting ready to go the other end and shoot a free throw strike. Do you address it in that timeout and talk about if you no matter who gets fouled, you're going to make them, or do you just let it go?
I think you just talk positive. Anything. Look, when we get fouled, we'll make them. This is what we want to do. And the guys at this point of the year know who has shortcomings on the free throw line. They don't have Brown on the game for that reason, maybe, huh?
Ball is tipped, and it's knocked out of bounds by Rutgers.
Now, see, I understand not having Graham Brown being the out-of-bounds guy because of his free throw shooting, but what I like about him is he's 3 inches taller than Robinson as a passer.
Good point. Xandy and Brown have worn out a path to the scores table. I mean, with the lumbering impact as they're yo-yoed for offense and defense. Pick and pop. He can make those.
Way outside, not there. And taken down by Michigan. Axani had just committed his 4th foul.
Nothing else he could do, though. He had to give it up. You don't want the clock to wind down on you.
You know, Bill, you were talking about Brown just a moment ago, and I mentioned the parallel between both he and Axani, and they both are delights to be around. They are really nice young men that do well in the classroom. They got a good perspective of where they are.
Well, you know, they get everything out of a 4-year or 5 in Axani's case with the injury. Well, they've got what they wanted now. I'm big at still thinking 2. I don't know how you guys feel.
No, extend the length of the game. That's all you're trying to do right now if you're Rutgers.
Horton, 2 of 5 tonight. 72% on the season, and he misses them both. Door is wide open. It's a 5-point game. Shields from outside the NBA line couldn't get a tip back out to Abrams.
And they get the giveaway. Lemons-on, boy, they got a great look too. 4th foul on number 1. Hervey.
Well, that's about as good as you could ask for if you're Rutgers right now. One of your better 3-point shooters throughout this tournament. Has a pretty clean look and gets to dribble into his shot. Doesn't float.
Yeah, he was right on it, too. Just a little strong. And guys teach their players, be long. And it's got a chance when it's long. Look at this. 3 in a row.
You know what? It's actually 4 because Robinson had missed his to stop their string of 5 straight.
Didn't he lead the free throw shooting in Big Ten this year? There it is.
6-point lead.
Go to the rim. Pretty.
Marquise Webb. Now, is this the last time out?
Yeah, this is it.
18 seconds
and out, so he's a tall guy you can get back to if you have to.
Interesting. Tommy put him in because he's an 80% free throw shooter, too. If they kick back to him, it eliminates that decision.
4 of 9 Rutgers, 13 of 22 for Michigan. Coming up next, that special show with the slam dunk and the three-point shooting. And that's about 16.9 seconds away, game clock.
Just like he's in the backyard. Against Oklahoma, he played 3 different positions for this team. We mentioned the same size of the perimeter people from Michigan. They can alternate spots. There's Brown. Maybe have a lunch pail over there with him.
Deion Harris, an important recruit for Tommy Amaker, former Mr. Michigan basketball, and Tom Izzo. He had those guys locked up for a while.
5-point game. Here comes Rutgers. Strong to the hoop, and that ball sent back out, and it's taken away by Michigan. And with 7.3 seconds showing on the clock, one make here, and it looks as though that the Wolverines, the maize and blue, will have the crown 20 years later.
And it's sort of fitting that it's the defense of a Tommy Amaker coach team that steps to the fore. Changing the looks after timeout, Jim, that particular time. Great step up defensively, and Robinson with a wonderful save. And again, testimony to this guy and his character hanging in.
How about these numbers? How often do you see it happen to a young player, has the great night, and then comes back and just the bottom falls out? He's fouled out 2 points, 1 of 13 from the field tonight.
Well, he knows there's a lot of work ahead. He's going to be an outstanding performer. And I'm just so impressed with Bernard Robinson, though. Different coaches, different situations, adhering to the rules and really providing a cornerstone for these young people under Tommy Amaker.
Horton makes it 62-55. 7 seconds left in our national championship as far as the NIT is concerned. And that ball rebounded by Michigan, and the clock will show double zeros. Michigan wins the NIT title. So Michigan celebrates, and why not? 1984, they won this NIT title, and they have duplicated that here tonight. And in the shaking of the hands from the 2 clubs, and I like this situation. I know it's tough if you're Rutgers. Tommy Amaker, the head coach for the Michigan Wolverines, pulls off the championship. And let's go to Jimmy Dykes.
Hey, Daniel, I'll let you put your shirt on. Let me ask you, what did Coach keep talking about during those last few timeouts?
Just make our free throws. Come here, box out, rebound, make them take a tough shot, get the rebound, and make free throws. We made free throws, we would have kept them out of it.
How important is this for a young club, and you're one of those youngsters to learn how to win during the month of March and April?
It's big. Hopefully it prepares for next year, being in the preseason NIT, then hopefully making a run and trying to get in the NCAA. I mean, this is big for our team and our program.
How about the leadership of your one senior, Bernard Robinson Jr.? What did he bring to this ball club, not only tonight, but all season long?
All season long, he did everything for us. He rebounded, he scored. He was our leading assist guy. He was our best defender. I don't think we would have been here without him. He's one of my favorite teammates I've ever played with. He's that good.
Going back to timeouts, how much did Coach Amaker talk about defense?
It was big. He wanted us to contest all 3-pointers, just like we did against Oregon Tuesday night. We came in tonight knowing we had another great shooting team, and we contested and rebounded for the most part.
Okay, buddy, congratulations. Go join your teammates.
Thank you.
Ron?
All right, thanks very much, Jimmy. Once again, the final score is Michigan 62, Rutgers 55. The 2004 College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Contest is next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sport. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Good night, everybody, from Madison Square Garden.